Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Time TENSHI 2. So we were heading back to the lab and here we are. You can't do this, Tensai. You can't just give up on me like this. I never said about giving up. I never said anything about giving up, Michelle. But for the moment this... Ooh, Tensai. As Q's small, quiet voice sounded, Tensai and Michelle both paused to look at us. What's going on? Q said you found out what happened. Tensai glanced sternly back at Michelle for a moment before returning his attention to me, sighing. We've just finished running diagnostics on the time window to find out what happened, and we've conducted several bioscans of Michelle, as well as repeatedly scanned the temporal fields. I swallowed as I recognized this as one of my grandfather's stall tactics. And what have you found? Well, I'm not sure how well I can explain it. At least, to make it so you can understand what it is being said. But in summation, when the time window pulled Michelle into it, it essentially trapped her inside of a pocket dimension that exists outside of normal time and space, and even outside of the corridors of time that it generates. But at the same time, she's somehow occupying the same fourth dimensional space that corresponds with the time window. To put it simply, Kenji, Michelle has merged with the time window. Permanently. You don't know that! There's got to be some way. She's right, Tensai. We can't just give up on her. You said it yourself. Michelle is one of your closest friends. You can't just leave her like this. We've got to keep... No. I know this may seem harsh to you, and perhaps it is. But for now at least, I think it's best if we spend some time trying to better understand what just happened and making some preparations. Preparations? What are you talking about? What kind of preparations? I mean, that we have more immediate concerns at the moment. For starters, there's still Mizuki and Bunny. The fact that we lost contact with them when the power surge hit, that worries me. Bunny and Mizuki? That's right. With everything that's happened, we need to try and reach them. See if anything happened to them. Right, let's give it a try and hope that everything's alright on their end. As Rose made her way over to the time window controls, I realized I hadn't even considered the possibility that Bunny or Mizuki could have suffered something like what happened to Michelle. I pictured them trapped in their own time window, pounding desperately to escape, crying out for help that they had to know would never come. Something's wrong. I can't raise them. I'm using the right temporal frequency, but they aren't responding. You don't think... No, I don't think that's the case. Or at least there is another possibility for them not responding. What do you mean, Tensai? What I mean is that the timeline has clearly changed. Our future has just been altered. And since our future is the past for Bunny and Mizuki, the butterfly effect? I know you feel my ideas regarding time travel are outdated, Michelle. But given the circumstances, I'd say you're hardly in a position to deny that tampering with time has some serious consequences. But how does it does the butterfly effect explain us not being able to contact them? They would just forget about us or about me. You think maybe the future's nice now because of what we did? I doubt that. I'd be that simple to save the entire future, Kiyu. Why not? Maybe we're in a better position and change things for the better now. Excuse me, girls, but I'm afraid that's not what I meant. However, I think that it might be best if we discuss this elsewhere. Alright then, let's... Oops. Michelle gave us all a reminder that she was essentially a prisoner of the time window, trapped in a cage that had no walls, yet was apparently inescapable. But as we all looked at Michelle's despairing expression, Kiyu somehow managed to force one of her bubbly smiles into place. Don't worry, Michelle. We'll be back just as soon as we're done talking about stuff. And then I could bring my portable DVD player here. We could watch a movie. Huh? Oh yeah, sure. Why not? I couldn't blame Michelle for her half-hearted smile, but the fact that the girls were trying to keep each other's spirits up heartened me, and after pausing just long enough to smile for Michelle's benefit, I joined the others and left the time window room. We followed Tensai to the cafeteria in a relative silence and watched as he sighed and sat down. Following his lead, we sat and looked hard at him. But just as he opened his mouth to speak, Rose scolded and spoke first. Why are you treating Michelle this way? I beg your pardon? Tensai, I understand that you're angry with Michelle. Yes, I am angry that she ignored every warning I gave her about the dangers of tampering with time, and that she placed all of us in very, very big danger as well. But that said, we still have more immediate concerns to address. Like what? What could be more important than helping Michelle? I'm worried about the impact that Michelle's predicament will have on the future. On Mizuki and Bunny, to be precise. How so? I'm not sure. Not yet. However, one thing that we can be sure of is that they still have their own agenda. Despite what happened to Michelle, they are bound to keep trying to change their future regardless of the consequences. We need to be ready to deal with them. And right now, we are far from ready. Because of what happened? Exactly. We don't know how Michelle's merging with the time window will impact its performance. I wouldn't be surprised if time had made it so that her condition would make the time window unusable. It would be the perfect way to kill two problems with one stone. There you go again, acting like time is some thinking being that was out to get us. As I said, I have no idea what time is anymore. But that's beside the point. In addition to checking the time window, we're going to need someone to take Michelle's place as our commander and operations manager. I was honestly getting upset about how blasé my grandfather was being to someone he had called a friend. Look, I don't agree with everything Michelle did, and I don't like some of her methods. But you can't deny that she had good intentions. Oh, I don't deny that at all. I know she had good intentions, Kenji. The same way, I'm sure the military had good intentions when they took the work of leading scientists in the field of atomic energy and turned it into a weapon of mass destruction. I'm sure They had only the best of intentions for the world. And now Michelle too will have to live with the result of her good intentions. Kenji, please go home. There's nothing you can do to help us here, and there's a great deal of work we have to get to. I was stunned by how flat and warm my grandfather sounded, but forced to admit that I had no skills to offer that would be of use. I just nodded. Also, I think it'd be best if you stayed there until I called for you. Besides, you're still living with the memory of the fire and everything else, so I think it would be good if you made up for lost time, as it were. Grandpa just trying to get me out of his way and to stay that way until he was finished doing whatever it was he felt needed to be done. Even in my current state, it wasn't hard to figure that much out. But as I sat there thinking of what had just happened and all of the rest of it, I found that I just didn't have it in me to try and argue against this thinly disguised order. Oh, alright, I guess. I sighed and rose to my feet, looking at the others. I smiled fondly at the two girls there. Rose, Q, you take care, okay? And tell Michelle not to give up. We will. Hope to see you soon, Kenji. Yeah, hope to see you both soon too. I sigh before slowly making my way out of the cafeteria, not knowing what time it was and actually not caring. All I knew was that nothing would be the same after today. Later in the time window room. And what's going to happen later, you will find out in the next episode of Time Tenshi. I know this was rather short, but we have to keep it at least in some, in some order. So the next episode will start with later in the time window room. And I hope that you guys all enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for looking all those booby shit. And then I say bye for now, your pacemaker. Oh, and by the way, if you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up, leave a commentary, and if you don't want to miss any of the action, just subscribe to my channel. Bye.